Leonardo da Vinci once said that time waits just long enough for those who use it. So the question is, what are you doing with your time? We all have 24 hours in a day. What are you doing with your time? Are you building your dream? Or are you helping someone else build theirs? Are you putting in the work every single day, every single moment of now? Are you planning for your future? They say planning is bringing the future into the present so you can do something about it now. So the question is this: what are you doing with your time? Remember, the time is always now. And thank you for joining me for the Time Is Always Now podcast. My name is Terence Young. I am your host for the podcast today. This is a podcast that's dedicated to helping people get past their excuses, helping people get past saying, I'm going to do it someday or one day, and instead saying, I'm going to do it right now. It's about helping people not wait on the right time, because there is no right time. The time is always now. So I love helping people do that. If you don't know who I am, my name is Terence Young. I go by TY, and I am a mindset coach, a new thought transformational speaker, an author, a runner, and a workshop facilitator. I help people change their mindsets, change that thought process that's going on in their head, that paradigm change, so they can stop waiting for the right time to do something and start saying, oh, wait a minute, I got to do something now. Now, you can't do everything right now, but you can do something right now, and that's what I help people do. So thank you for joining me for the podcast. If you'd like to donate to the podcast, by all means, you can do so just by going to my website. It is terenceyoungnow.com. If you go there, you can donate, and thank you in advance for allowing me to continue to do what I do, what I love to do, and what my passion is, which is to inspire, encourage, and motivate people to live their lives to the highest potential. So thank you in advance for that. If you have not joined our Facebook group, by all means, jump on Facebook if you're on Facebook and join our Facebook group. It is the Time Is Always Now Facebook group. It is a group of like-minded people who all believe in the concept, the time is always now. So whatever you're going to change in your life, you got to start doing something today, something in this moment of now. If you keep waiting on the right time to do something, you'll be waiting forever. So it's a great group. We encourage, we motivate, we inspire each other, we have each other's backs, and we challenge each other as well. So that's so important. So if you want to be a part of the group, by all means, jump over to Facebook and request to be a member, and we will let you in. I'm excited about where the group is going. We're really having a lot of fun. So yeah, join us for the Time Is Always Now Facebook group. Every single week in the group, we have a theme. And this week, the theme was overcoming. It fits perfectly into what's going on with this week, with the holiday, with the Resurrection Day, Easter coming up, and overcoming was our theme. So we've been talking about it all week. So in the podcast today, I'm going to share some ideas that I've shared throughout the week with the group on overcoming and why it is so important that we must be able to overcome to live our best lives. So important. So one of the quotes that I use is that you have to embrace adversity. Adversity is a part of the process, right? Adversity is a part of any process that you go through. So when you go through adversity in life, don't be afraid of it. You might as well expect it. It's going to happen. The way you overcome it is to know this: it's a part of the process. I did a live in the group last week, and I was talking about the fact that knowing this is a part of the process. Use Michael Jordan for an example, basketball player. All successful people have failed. And I love that. I saw a commercial that he did a long time ago when he was playing. He said, "I failed." You may have seen it. I failed over and over and over again. That's why I've succeeded. And you don't think about this, but when you watch the highlights, you see the dunks, you see all the game-winning shots, but you don't see how many he missed. No one cares about that. They care about the fact that he got there, he got to the championship, he won 6 championships. No one cares about the fact that he missed some shots. You think he didn't miss some? He missed a whole lot of them. But he overcame that adversity. He accepted the fact that failure, missing some shots, is a part of the process to getting to the top, to getting to the pinnacle of his profession at the time, basketball. So what is it for you? Know that you're going to encounter adversity. It's never going to be a time in your life when you're not going to have adversity. So you have to just embrace it. Say, bring it on, embrace it. But bring it on. I'm expecting it, and I'm ready to overcome it. Just dig in and say, I'm expecting to do it. Remember, you got to crawl before you walk. You got to walk before you run. These are things that we know, but are we applying them to ourselves? Do we want to start at the top and be the best real estate agent we can be, or the best, tennis player we can be, or the best doctor we can be? No, you gotta work your way up. You're going to have some pitfalls. You're going to have some setbacks. I love to say it. A setback is a setup for a comeback. That's Dr. Willie Jolly. So important. You're going to have some pitfalls. You're going to have adversity in your life. So the first key to overcoming is embrace the fact that adversity is a part of life. And that's how we grow. That's how you succeed. Ask any successful person that you know in any endeavor, and I guarantee you they'll tell you how many times they failed. And if you know somebody who say they haven't failed, that's somebody who has never tried or even did anything. They're sitting on the couch. Because if you go out and do something, you're going to fail. It's okay. If you want to learn how to overcome, understand it's part of the process. That's one of the most important things. So that's number one. Embrace it. Embrace the adversity. Second one is this. I love this quote. I don't run away from challenges because I'm afraid. I run towards them because the only way to escape fear is to trample it under my feet. That's right. Run towards what you're afraid of. I love the quote that everything you want is on the other side of fear. I was just talking to a friend about that the other day. So true. Everything you want. And I know if you look back in your life, you'll notice this. Wow, when I was able to overcome the fear of this, then I was able to move forward. Run towards the thing you're afraid of. And then, as they say, the death of fear is certain. There's nothing to fear but fear itself. Fear holds so many people back from living their best life, from doing the thing that they're put here to do, from doing the thing that God put them here to do. If you want to learn how to overcome, you've got to learn how to overcome fear. Move toward the thing that scares you. Let me ask you, have you ever had a time in your life, just think about this, I've had it in my life as well, where you thought something was going to be super scary and then you did it and it wasn't that scary at all? Remember, we build this fear up in our minds to be way more scary than it actually is. What the actual thing and what we have in our minds are two totally different things. We make fear into a mountain where it might just be a molehill. You have to embrace your fear if you want to learn how to overcome. But they say that fear, this great quote, stands for two things. Forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. Face your fears. Face your fears. How do you do that? How do you do that? Know this. Know that you have the power of God within you. Know that you have the power of the Christ within you. Know that there is something inside of you greater than what you're dealing with. That's how you face them. And you take just a little bit of the time. I love that quote. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. One bite at a time. That's it. Just little baby steps towards that goal, towards overcoming that fear. Just take it a little bit at a time. And then look at it clearly, and you'll notice that maybe you made it into a mountain when it was only a molehill in the first place. So don't forget everything and run. Face your fears and rise, and that will teach you how to overcome the fears you have in your life. And once you do it once, you start to build momentum so you can do it again. And it becomes easier for you to face them because you know that you've made it something that it's not. You've made it bigger than what it is. And you can see it for what it really is and see that you are the one causing yourself not to move forward. You're the one that's standing in place because you're letting that fear stop you. And you want to be able to overcome that so you know how to do it. Then put it into practice every single day, every single time. Every single time you come up with a fear, put it into practice. That you can overcome it. That you can face it and rise above it. We all can do it. I love that quote. Run towards the thing you're scared of. Run towards it. That'll help you overcome your fear. Third thing is this. Believe in yourself. Know that there's something inside of you that is greater than any obstacle. I love that. I love the quote about don't tell me how big your problem is. I'm going to tell you how big my God is. That's it. Do you actually think there's a problem that's so big that God can't solve it? No, it ain't going to happen. Now, I don't know if you're a religious person or not, or you're spiritual. I'm a spiritual person, so I believe that there's a God, there's a power outside of me and a power inside of me. And I focus on that power that lives within me. That power of God that lives within me is bigger than any problem or challenge that I have. Of course, I like to call them opportunities anyway. Everything's an opportunity. When you understand that about life, man, it changes the game. When you say everything is working for my unfolding good, ooh, does that change the game? Everything is happening for you. Even the thing that you think isn't happening for you because you don't like it in the moment is actually happening for you. I don't have to tell you this. You can look back on your own life and say something you went through. And you could say, I hated that when I went through it. But damn, I wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't go through that. I wouldn't have learned the things I learned if I didn't go through that. I wouldn't have become smarter, stronger, better at what I'm doing if I didn't go through that. Know there's something inside of you that's stronger and powerful than any obstacle you face. I can relate it back to running because I run marathons and things like that. Even though I'm not running right now, but there are times when I'm out running and I'll feel a power within me where I don't even feel tired. I could be at 15 or 20 miles and feel like I've just started. And it's this unbelievable feeling like, wow, where'd that come from? That's the runner's high that people talk about. If you're not a runner, maybe you don't know about it, but maybe you felt it in some other way. But you get a runner's high where you could be running 20 miles and just feel amazing. It's an unbelievable feeling. Or maybe you've been in a stressful situation. We've seen it maybe on TV, or maybe you've been in it where someone was hurt and you pulled them out of the car and you didn't think you were that strong. Or you pulled a car off of someone. That power that showed up in that moment when you weren't thinking about it is within you. And when I talk about that power, I'm not talking about just physical power. I'm talking about mental power. The power of the mind. So it's more than just physical, it's mental, it's spiritual. That power lives within you and it's bigger than any obstacle that you have in your life. So whatever you're dealing with right now, whatever's bothering you right now, whatever's challenging you right now, know this. You have a power within you that's bigger than that can conquer that conquers all. All you gotta do is tap into it. That's all you gotta do. You tap into that power and watch that situation or that challenge go away. Now when I say go away, it doesn't mean that whatever is going to happen isn't going to happen. What's going to happen is it's not going to change. You're going to change. You're going to change the way you perceive it. You're going to change the way it affects you because you're looking at it through different eyes. It's powerful. Look at that power within yourself. Look at that power within yourself, and it'll help you overcome any challenge that you have in your life. So powerful. So powerful. So 3 things today. Know that embrace the adversity because it's a part of every part of life. You will never have a time in your life when you're not dealing with adversity. You'll have your ups and your downs, your ups and your downs. That's life. It doesn't matter how much money you make or don't make or anything else. Everyone deals with adversity all the time. You're always dealing with it. You have some good days, you have some bad days. Some good months, some bad months. A good year, a bad year. It's going to happen. Adversity is a part of life. When you understand it's a part of life, then when you go through the adversity, you say, oh, it's all good. It's still good. No matter what. I love to say it's all good because it's all God. When you change that perspective, it's powerful. Embrace the adversity. Know that. Secondly, this. You got to run towards your fears. Not away from them. Not forget everything and run, but face everything and rise. Run toward your fear, and then you'll see that it's not that big of a fear in the first place. You'll be able to look right through that fear and say, "Oh, I made it this mountain when it was really just a molehill." So important. The last one, believe in yourself. Know that there's something inside of you greater than any challenge you have. You want to overcome? Learn how to overcome on a daily basis, on a moment-by-moment basis, on a now-by-now basis. Know that there's a power in you that's greater than any challenge you face in life. When you look at the challenge, or as I like to say, the opportunity from that space, from those eyes, you can face anything and you can overcome any challenge you face. If you do that, it's going to change your life. Thank you for joining me for this episode of the Time Is Always Now podcast. Make sure you share this podcast. I want this message to get out there to the masses. I believe that everyone needs to hear these messages, and it will change the consciousness of our world if more people heard messages like this. So tell your friends, tell your family, tell your people on Facebook and social media, and send this video out. Send this podcast out to them. Let them hear it. Let them hear it and tell them to share it as well. I want as many people to get this message as possible. When you learn how to look at your challenges and overcome them by using the power that lives within you, then you will be able to unequivocally say, I own the now, and I have won. This is TY. I'm signing off. Remember, the time is always now.